Mhm. All right, we are live. I just need the video to connect so that I can grab this link and put it into our community so that those that are not in studio, like Teray and Debbie and Shawana and Cheryl and Dr. LaFera and Dewana, they can join us on YouTube in the live comments. So let me grab this link and throw it over here in the group so that they can join us. Boom, there we go. All right. And so speaking of groups, if you are a solopreneur entrepreneur who is struggling to get to your first six figures in business, we have created a space for you. Join our group at shaycannon.info/group. We have 3 pillars, 3 value systems that we go by in our group. And that is number 1, we actually build community. We actually come together for different things like movie club night and other stuff. Number 2, we actually collaborate to make our businesses better and to make money together. Number 3, we have conversations that are transformational to your business growth, quite like this morning show. All right. So you need to be a part. And right now you can get the show notes and other things in the group. You can get value as soon as you get in the group. Go to shaycannon.info/group. All right, let's get started. Good morning. Welcome to Unlock Your First Six Figures morning show. I am your host, Shay Cannon. It all starts with the blog, and this week's blog is at shaycannon.com/struggle because we are talking about the struggle bus that is struggling to sell your offer. That's a question. Are you struggling to sell your offer? If so, do this. Right? So that is what we're talking about this week, because what we know is we're halfway through the year. Some offers are working, some offers are not working. And for those that are not working, you may be tempted to just do something else altogether, but that is not what you are meant to do. Okay. You are meant to optimize your offer first. Okay. So we talked about optimizing the offer on yesterday. Today, what we're going to talk about is another strategy, and that is boost visibility and marketing. Debbie got us started with that on yesterday, but that's actually today's strategy. All right. So you want to increase visibility on your offer. Sometimes you're not selling your offer because you don't have enough eyes on the offer. When people say that business is a numbers game, they mean it, because the number of people that see your offer are not going to be the total number of people that actually buy the offer. So the more people that see it, out of that big crowd, a few people will buy it. So if you want more people to buy it, you need more people to see it, right? So increase the visibility of your offer and ensure it reaches the right audience, okay? That is crucial for driving sales. Effective marketing strategies can help you attract and engage potential customers, making them more aware of the value that you provide. So here are some, in the blog post, we give you 2 ways to boost your visibility and marketing. The first way is SEO and content marketing, okay? I'm going to tell you how much we have heavily relied upon social media ads the past few years and been successful. That success has transformed over to SEO. SEO has always been high in the ranks, but now it's definitely higher than the fizzled out social ads. Okay. So SEO. If you are following along the blog, you see that if you need more about just what SEO is, I have a blog post hyperlink that talks about what it is. Okay. Now, the strategies are that you're going to do a content strategy. You're going to create valuable content that addresses pain points and things of interest to the person you want to buy your offer, okay? Because we just want them to come into awareness of you. And what we know is these days, people stingy with their email, the email address. They're stingy with their attention. Okay, so there is a bit of in Gary V's words, a bit of a give, ask, jab, right hook. Okay, so you have to give some value before they come into your ecosphere, seeing you as valuable. All right, so content strategy, that's what that does. It brings more people into awareness of you, and now that they're paying attention to you, you have more people that you can tell about your offer. All right. Then you have SEO to optimize your website, okay, and your content for the search engines so that you can attract traffic organically, okay? So especially those who don't have the budget for an ad, you don't even know how to work an ad, you don't want to pay the ad specialists who are now charging you just as much as the ad budget. SEO, okay? Search engine optimization. You need to optimize your content, your websites, your sales pages, everything for the search engines. That means you need to know what your keywords are, your key phrases, and those need to be the words and the phrases that your ideal clients would use, okay? Not just the jargon from your industry. Because if you use jargon from your industry, you will attract other industry people. You have to use the language that your ideal client uses if you want to attract them. Case study that I always share with y'all to remind you is, as a chief operating officer, I would say operations, your business operations. That did nothing because I did a poll to ask people what part of their operations they had the most problems with. They ain't know what operations was, y'all. They don't call it operations. They don't say business operations at all, okay? What did they say? Well, I found out they call it business management. Working in the business. You know what I'm saying? They don't say business operations. So although I might use operations as a keyword, but later it's not going to be like a major keyword because it's not what my people call it. Okay. So learn from that mistake. The next strategy is, of course, host sales events. Again, if you're following along in the blog, it is hyperlinked to a whole blog post about how to host a sales event. Okay. But we're not talking about how to do it. We're talking about some of the kinds you can host. So educational webinars, value packed sessions, those types of things will catch the eye of your ideal client and bring them aboard into knowing that you are an expert and that you can then pitch your offer to. Another thing could be live demonstrations. I know a lot of people don't think about that, but even if you have a service, even if you have a course, you can do a live demonstration, okay? This morning show, every morning show, we have a hot seat, do we not? So that's a coaching live demonstration. I ask you what you're having problems with. I ask you, do you have any questions? That's live coaching, right? That's a live demonstration. When you have a course, if you go through like showing people what the modules are, showing them how to navigate through the course, showing them the pieces of the course that support them along with the videos, that's a live demonstration, all right? Now, that's everything that's in the blog post. As you guys know, on the morning show, you get more. Let me check our comments to make sure nobody's talking to us over here in our live chat. It seems odd over here. Okay, nobody's over here right now. So we're going to go on to more. So let's go into the show notes. You guys will get a copy if you are in the group. So shaycannon.info/group. The show notes will be released in PDF form later today. So boost visibility and marketing. All right. Here's another one we're going to do. We're going to do, it looks like this didn't capture the right thing. Okay, that's okay. I know where I had my original notes. Let me go to my original notes and then I'll pull over those notes for visibility. But I know I had media on there. I don't know how it got knocked off of my actual show notes, but we do have media on there. We just congratulated Debbie yesterday for her feature in on Forbes.com, right? We definitely can do media. Now, I had on here information for y'all because Heyro, help a reporter out, used to be a huge thing we could do, but they have changed to something else. And I forgot what that was. It's like connectivity.com or something like that.
And then the founder of Harrow, Peter, started something else called SOS.
Oh, beans.
Yeah.
Put that in the comments in the studio comments, okay, for Debbie, what the actual link is.
Okay.
Wow. My notes really got jacked up. Where is my stuff? All right, I'm gonna have to go by memory. Because, okay, so we got help a reporter out that has changed to connectivity or something like that. In fact, let me go over there and find out what it changed to for y'all, because it was in my notes and now my notes are wrong. So connectively, Okay, CONNECTIVELY.US. All right, and that will be in the show notes. I'm gonna put it in the studio, and nobody's talking over in the chat. So look, if y'all want to put it in the chat over there, y'all better talk over here. And then I'll throw it over there too, so you don't have to wait on the notes. Okay. But another thing that you can do, Heather's not with us this morning, but it's another thing that she tells us we need to do all the time, and that is press releases. Okay. In fact, let me bring up an example of a press release that I have done, that I have shown you guys before, because there are different places you can go that you can pay to have your press release distributed nationally, globally, right? But your local people, you can send it directly to them for free. There are some press release distribution. They have some kind of free distribution. It's usually not as wide as when you pay. So the ones I like to pay are brandfeatured.com. And that is the one that I used when I, let me see if I can get this up. It is the one that I used when I launched a service. Let me see, allow. All right. I'm going to share my screen and show it to you guys. Share the screen. All right, let's see. So hopefully you guys can see this, right? Fractional Chief Operating Officer Shay Cannon debuts new solution focused on solopreneur business growth. Okay, my name is even in the title. All right, they have a nice lifestyle picture of me, and then they have a whole thing talking about me and the offer. There's a link to the offer. Then they have my contact information. All right, so you too can do a nice press release around your offer. It doesn't have to be launching it. It could just be about how helpful the offer is. I've done this for other clients. And you can get sales from it. Okay. You can get sales directly from people seeing the press release and figuring out they need that and doing it, but you're less likely to, but you bring more people into your ecosphere. So you're getting more visibility. And that's the main thing about it, right? So I paid Brand Featured for that one. And then they distribute it. So that was the one from Fox 40, but they distributed to over 100 places. So each one of these is hyperlinked to my actual same article on all of these platforms. And if you can see, they sent it to a lot of different places. Okay. If I remember correctly, this was like $297 or something like that, $297. But do you see all these places that it went to? Okay, so not only did I get visibility, but my website got a lot of domain authority. I got a lot of backlinks and all of that good stuff. Okay, so another place that you can go that I'm going to try, actually, I'm probably going to try this week or next week, is EINpresswire.com. Okay, EINpresswire.com. Now, that they are kind of like Brand Featured, except they also distribute to AP. And if you don't know what AP is a larger distribution. You can end up on some of the bigger talk shows, websites and stuff like that. So you can get more recognizable, even more recognizable distribution. EINpresswire.com. And their lowest one is $99. Okay, so that's the one I'm going to try either this week or next week for a client. I have another one that Dante Lee, who is in my network, he does black everything black. Okay, who he rooting for? Everybody black. All right, so if you have something, an article where the point of view of that article that is for black people, that is a great way to go. And you can go to blackpr.com. Okay, and you can do one there. I did one for Dr. Joffrey where we talked about vitamin D deficiency in the Black community as a push for his vitamin D supplements. Okay. And so basically what happened is we got that order out there, and not that order, that article out there. We did get some sales. We also got people asking us to appear on different shows and to guest in different podcasts and things like that. So that's blackpr.com. But again, that's going to be specific to things that impact the Black community. Now, You just need to find what that perspective is with your offer. Okay. Like one of the things that I can do is I can talk about the stats concerning Black entrepreneurs going out of business because they don't have the business acumen to stay in business, and then give them some tips and then have them come over and find out about this morning show, right? So that's one of the things that I can do. So when we do the round robin, if you want an idea on what you can do, then we can talk about that. All right. So that is, let's go back to our article. Oh, we're out of the article. We were in my notes, which are wrong right now. Let me think. What else did I have in my notes? I can't remember everything I had in my notes. So we can talk about the press. Let me see, visibility. Let's talk about your communities. Your community is great visibility. Have you asked the people who already know you to invite other people to get to know you? As you guys know, we did a whole contest within our community for that. And Teray, the winner, is right there. Teray. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, are you inviting people to invite other people to find out how great you are? Right? So that is because what happens is their trust transfers to you. You now are not building trust from scratch. Now you still have to perform, you still have to be the expert, but they're coming in less looking at you like you crazy, like you just like everybody else. They're coming in like, oh, my person has recommended you, and so you're already starting above everybody else. You just now have to kind of prove it, right? So I love that as distribution and marketing, boosting your visibility. Another thing that you can do is contributing writing. Okay, contributing writing, contributing podcast. That you can do a takeover, right? All of these things where someone else has a platform and you get on it so that you can do one-to-many visibility. Okay. So if we want to talk about individual visibility, it could be you offering somebody a discovery call. That's one-on-one, and that takes you longer, right? So we want to do as many one-to-many things as possible. So as we're building our own community, let's tip into some other people's communities, right? Let's go on these podcasts. Hey, you can even offer to guest host a podcast. People, let me tell you how people with podcasts, they need content. So definitely be a guest. But how about you pitch them what you want to talk about, right? Don't just have people, hey, I want to be on your show, and leave it at that. What's going to happen is just like mainstream media, they like it when you do a lot of the work for them. You're more likely to get on, and especially quicker because you've done the work for them. So do you even have some signature talks that can help you get visibility, right? I suggest that you get some. If you have ever gotten a roadmap from me, I probably have a list of signature talk titles in your roadmap, right? So pitch it. Pitch the one that's closest to your offer so that you can tell people about your offer at the end. Always have a lead magnet so they can sign up, give you their email, and then you have an email sequence that delivers what they signed up for, but also tells them about your offer that also helps. Okay? So I can't remember everything that was in my notes, so we're going to roll with that. And with that said, we're going to start with Dewana. Which one of these strategies from today do you feel like will be of most help to you in boosting your visibility and your marketing? And do you need help? We're going to say aligning it with your business, Dewana.
Good morning, morning.
Martin.
Morning. I think I'm actually looking right now at redoing my website. So mine is going to be SEO optimization and just getting that whole reboot going. So I'm going to do a whole recasting of the website, and I've already got that underway. So that's where I'm starting.
I love that. All right, Dr. LaFera. Which one of these strategies do you know will propel you forward the most? And do you need any help aligning it with your business? I need to find another word because that one ain't coming out right this morning. What you got, Dr. LaFera?
I would probably say the right now, probably the media, because I pretty much have my story down as far as the points that I want to highlight to catch the most attention. And the offers is being built around that. So the media, so I can gain attention. I'm also working on like the back end So when I do media, I can benefit from it the most. Like the freebie that I give people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably the media, because I know that I'm ready to do that, and I was supposed to be doing that, and I'm not running from doing that anymore.
I love it. Yeah, I love that. Dr. Toya is over here in our live chat. So good morning, Dr. Toya. All right, Miss Cheryl, which of these helping you with your visibility and your marketing do you know will propel you for it better? And do you need any help applying it to your business?
What I tested out, which really worked really well, was the contributing writing.
Mm-hmm.
This past weekend and the weekend before, podcasts. I'm actually looking to do a podcast myself, and so I've got a lineup of people. It's really good what you said about pitching what you want to talk about. That
Mm-hmm.
is so simple and so good that you just don't even think about it. But lining up people, a lot of people have asked me to be on their podcast. And so I'm going to take them up on their offer and make sure that I have signature pitches. I'm doing more public speaking at this point. So I'm getting back into signature speeches.
Yeah.
It's not everybody has everything, but the top three. So that's what I'm doing.
Love it. Love it. Shawana Kennedy Media. Which one of these strategies do you think will help you the most? And do you need any help applying it?
This is really good. And I honestly have to, in thinking about what we're talking about today, I have to again thank Debbie for having me as her summer spotlight that will be out next week. I gotta say that, not a shameless plug. But what it did, because I'm so used to interviewing other people, it's not that often that I'm being interviewed. And because of having that conversation with Debbie, that is where my brain is like really leaning in because of the conversation that we had. It would be something really great that I could lean into to make sure that people understand the primary lane when I talk about creating video visibility and the online visibility. So my mind is working there. Of course, it is, be seen, be heard, and increase the video visibility. So it's doing something around that. And of course, always making sure that the website is SEO rich and making sure things are there as I move forward with this part, though. That's really where my brain is.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Thank you, Shawana. Debbie, MissForbes.com. Look, tell us more about visibility and your marketing. Which one you think will propel you forward the most, even though you just had a great propulsion going on over there on Forbes.com. And do you need any help applying something that isn't media to your business?
Well, the Forbes article, it's going to be interesting to see how it converts to customers. So, people are definitely responding, and I'm hearing from people I haven't heard from in a very long time. So
yes,
that's good. So I want to speak more. So hopefully it'll help open up, and I just have to leverage it. So I like what you were talking about earlier with the press release. I didn't even think about that. Maybe I should do a press release.
Yes.
With the article. So yeah.
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 So you have to think about your press release as a commercial that's not too commercially, right?
So
you have to find that thing that is like a PSA to the public of what's something that's a pain point or a problem and what solves it, and then enter yourself as, how you solve it as like a mention, right? But what happens is the same thing as how we think, right? The person that is bringing us information we haven't thought about that we found helpful, when we feel like we're in pain again and we're ready to get helpful, we want to go to that person that gave us the information. That's why that give, ask works well, right? It's that psychology of, I think they call it the law of reciprocity, right? Somebody give you something, you feel like you got to give them something back. It's why all the Black people thought Dr. Fauci was their doctor. during COVID,
Yes.
right? Dr. Fauci was the only one giving y'all information that y'all saw. So all of a sudden, you know, Dr. Fauci was your primary care physician for some reason, right? Because he was giving, right? So that's why that giving works. So yes, Debbie, find a way to give. But when you're doing press releases, to me, I found the secret sauce is making it more about, like I have a few that are featured on my offer, but then the ones I do most often are the ones that talk about something of value to the community, right? And then, you know, how to solve it, like a tip or two, and then the fact that I do it as a business to solve it, right? So now I have given you some information, and you feel like when you're ready, you want to pick me to help you, right?
Wait,
so that's kind of
so in putting the press release out, I don't say, oh, thank you, Forbes, for the feature. I back into it. You think it's better to back into it?
Back into it. So you would find something else like, you know, a lot of big businesses are losing out to smaller businesses because smaller businesses are using more video and bigger businesses think they don't have to, right? So you would start off talking about that, give them some tips on video, and then tell them who you are and how you were recently mentioned in Forbes and how they can work with you. You see how that works?
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. No problem.
Okay.
No problem.
That's a good tip. Yeah.
Cool. Teray, what you got going on over there? Because look, Teray know a little bit about everything, a lot about everything. So which one do you feel like will help you the most? And do you need any help or support applying it?
Before we go to me, I have a question about Debbie.
Go ahead.
So Debbie, because she's got this Forbes magazine thing, she's gonna hit this wave. And we don't talk about the wave of popularity. It's going to be temporary, but it's a wave. And I know about this wave because whenever I was on the Steve Harvey show, it was a big wave. You're on, you have this wave of popularity. You're on national television. Everybody saw it. And then you get this rush where you're famous for like a couple months. And people are in your inbox, people you know, people you don't know, people recognize you on the street. Hey, I saw you on TV, that kind of thing. And you're saying a press release, but how can she maximize this? And how can the rest of us learn from this for when, because I'm going to speak that into existence.
Yes.
Whenever the rest of us have a wave like this, how can we prepare for the wave? And how can we maximize this particular thing that doesn't happen all the time?
So you prepare for the wave by making sure that all of your forward-facing collateral branding assets match up to what you're saying, right? You want to make sure that you have that lead magnet that is most attractive to the people that you're talking to in this opportunity, right? So you want to do those things. You want to make sure that you're not doing media for media's sake, that you are pointing them back to your assets. And that's why those assets need to be ready. Now, the next thing you want to do is you don't just rely on their distribution. You want to let people know that you have been featured in Forbes, right? You want to start putting it everywhere. It's funny because, okay, we're going to come back to you now, Teray, because see, I was going to do this after you. But since you asked, let's go into it, right? So you now want to let people know, let me share my screen if they will act right. Okay, so this is twofold. So when you have a speaker media page on your website, it can show the speaking opportunities in the media that you've gotten, or it could talk about the speaker opportunities in the media you want. Okay, so if you don't have any, that doesn't mean you don't have a speaker media page. That just means you talk about the kind of speaking and media that you want. Okay, so you of course want to tell them how great you are, right? But I say things like, I am sought after for various topics. Among them are CEO life design, the new buzzword fractional COO, right? Then you get in here and I let you know. So any accolades you have from speaking, right? So I was in this I still am in a global marketing program, right? That program brought a lot of people on, Gary Vee, Neil Patel, Robert, a whole bunch of, and even my boy, oh my God, Seth Godin was on there. Y'all know I was fangirling out when Seth Godin was on there. I was paying attention, but I was fangirling out. But this program, because of the type of student I was, they asked me to speak, right? Well, something started going on with my speaking date. And I was like, hey, y'all play too much. Y'all be waiting to the last minute. I'm trying to check in with what you need and how, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm watching some of these speakers bomb live on YouTube when we have our weekends where we watch everybody. Because people really come to see the Seth Godins, the Gary V's, but they have other people in between. Some of us was in there and some people that are experts that weren't well known, right? I'm watching them bomb. So I am in the comments trying to help people understand the value that some of these speakers are giving because they weren't getting it. So what they did was the program pulled me in as a coach to the speakers before they went on. Right. So now I have that accolade. And then they came back and was like, you still want to speak? I was like, no, the accolade I got from y'all is better than speaking. Thank you. Right. And then I have the fact that I've spoken on stages with virtual stages with some big names. Right. So I have that on there. I'm telling you about that. I'm telling you what kind of events I'm down for. So it's not just the ones you've seen me on. It's, hey, I do all of these. Right. This is where your press comes in again. Okay, your press comes, I've been featured by. Do you know how many people that when they start their slides to speak, they talk about who they've been featured by? This is where you bring back in your media, right? Because it's not just at one time. Once you have been featured on something, like we've already talked about how on the press release that I did, I think a new logo I can do now is Fox News, right? Some of these I already got, but now I can add Fox News to this. So these have come from features. These have come from mentions. These have come from contributing writing, right? So podcasts, all that kind of stuff. So this is one of the ways. I did a podcast for Delta Airlines. Hey, not only it looks like they may have moved where it is. So I need to check that out. But any podcast you've been on, you need to be telling people wherever they go to find out about you, you need to be shouting to the rooftops that these people trust me. When I do any webinar, any training, I don't care if it's for y'all. One of my slides says, you know, I've been featured by, I take some top ones from here and I say, these are large platforms. And if they can trust me and my expertise, you can too, right? That's a part of building that trust automatically. Another thing is all of this stuff lends itself to your search engine optimization. When was the last time you Googled yourself? So I got my homepage, I got my story, and let me tell you, these are popping up because a lot of people visit these pages on my website, okay? So everybody love to come and read my story. So I don't make my story on my website. Let's go there. It's not the same things in my bio. It's interesting. I kind of tell the story of how I got into entrepreneurship, how I became the fractional chief operating officer, how I live my lifestyle, which brings a lot of people, you know, into my visibility, into my ecosphere, right? So that my story page, okay? My Facebook, as y'all know, I do a lot on my Facebook page. This is the page that you like, right? The business page. My LinkedIn comes up. My Twitter. I don't go over on Twitter for real. All I do is I put my blog over there every week. That's it. I don't go over there and talk. I don't do Twitter chats anymore, but it still comes up. Why? Because I'm putting something over there every week. Okay, Instagram. Y'all already know I'm over there rocking out Instagram. But now your media, small and large, is becoming a part of it. Look at this. YouTube is now popping up. Y'all know I've been working on the YouTube. It's popping up in different ways. LinkedIn articles. Okay, I'm about to get more into newsletters. That's another way that we could do this thing, right? This comes from that press release. So let's go to the next page. Look at here, Freedom Friday. This was one of my posts. So some of your posts that get a lot of stuff, they become a mention of their own, right? So let's see if we can find something new. Dixon Commercial Group. I don't even know what they're talking about. Is that even me? No. So that's Sean Cannon. All right. We got Instagram. We got Pinterest. I don't know if y'all know, but I started putting stuff on Pinterest. So Pinterest is now popping up for me. Images. I got images all around. So it helps you with your, look at that SOP wizard as a star, ain't it? Remember when I gave it that link for free in a blog? A lot of people have gone over there and they're using that SOP wizard. So even ChatGPT with those custom GPTs that we were just talking about, right? They can help you get some search engine optimization. But basically, I think that y'all get it. So that's that, girl, they talking about Nick Cannon. But this, what you got, Debbie?
No, I was going to say that as far as getting ready, the article, it was done weeks ago, and I didn't know when it was going to come out. So I just woke up and it was there. I was like, oh. So I went right to my website, and it just so happened the website something was wrong with it. I was like, oh my God. So I had to find the web developer to fix it. But since then, I've told the team, I said that article needs to go everywhere. So it's in my signature now. It says read my interview in Forbes. So whenever I send out, so that's there. And I updated the website front page, homepage, where it says read. So I'm putting it in places so that it's just popping up. So it's visible. But so it is a wave now, and hopefully it's up to me to just keep it going, like you said.
Yeah. And another thing that you want to do is you want to build upon it, right? Because media like featuring people who have already been featured. How about that one? Right. So when you're pitching to the media, when you're pitching the podcast, when you're let them know you've been featured by Forbes. Let them know. For me, I always let them know, hey, I've been on Delta Airlines. You know what I'm saying? I give them the link to it. So it becomes a part of your pitching. It becomes a part of when you're looking for partners of a certain ilk, right? So when we're looking for brand partners and stuff like, hey, let them know you're a big deal, right? So these are all the different ways that we can use this stuff that we are parlaying it into other opportunities. So does that completely answer your question, Teray?
Yeah, because I had a number of interviews set up. All these people wanted to interview me. All these people afterwards, like months afterwards, people wanted me to be on their whatever. They wanted this. I had a what's the person? I had a person assigned to me to help me with that stuff afterwards. A woman in New York to help me set up all those interviews and stuff afterwards. Like it was a lot. And so I was able to maximize on that, but I didn't know it in advance. And so I just wanted to let Debbie know and let everybody know, like when that kind of thing happens, it changes things and it can boost your business. There's a wave that happens after that, and you want to ride that wave and maximize on that.
Yeah.
But anyway, people were coming out of the woodwork after that. Like just it's a thing. But anyway,
it is completely a thing.
It is. But for me, okay, so last week, Shay, we were talking about what direction I wanted to go into as far as consulting. And you told me that I needed a forward-facing product and offer. And I decided that I'm going to stick with the dating thing because that's what I'm really known for and becoming known for. People are in my inbox. Trust me, women are like, what do I do? He's crazy. I'm like, girl, read the book, right? But and because I wrote the book, I want to stick with the book and I want to continue with the book. I still have moms who want help with autism, but that's a new thing. That's something I'm developing in the background, and I'll continue to do that and it'll grow. But right now I'm still focused on this. So with that said, I recognize that I need to improve content with pain points. I need to focus on the pain points. And as much as I'm saying that women are in my inbox, I feel like the reason why they're in my inbox is because I am not focused on their pain points enough. I'm training, and by nature, I am a preacher. I don't know if people don't know that. I've been a minister for years in 2 different churches. I've learned how to preach. I've been a minister. I've been teaching adult Bible study. So I am a trainer. I'm a teacher. You know what I mean? So I take information and I teach it. And that's what I've been doing in my group. I'm like, this is what you need to learn. So you need to learn it. But I'm not so good at saying, hey, this is what your pain point is. And this is what you need to, you know what I mean? I'm not talking to you about your struggles. I'm talking to you about what you need to learn, because that's what I've always been trained to do. So, but women are in my inbox because they're like, I'm suffering. And I'm like, but I already taught you what to do. But I haven't tapped into their pain point. So that's what I need to do. But I think
I'm going to tell you to go a little further, right? Okay. What I'm starting to do now is I'm starting to look at things 3 different ways, right? What is the problem that I solve, right? What are the pain points? And what does it look like for them so they understand why they're having this pain? You see what I'm saying? So So when it comes to dating, people tell you to pick well, but number one, you don't know how. That's why you've not been picking well. But number two, they don't understand that their choice of a person is why they're experiencing certain things, right? They may be attributing those things to themselves and who they are, not the fact that they've chosen the wrong person. So that's why we love quotes and memes. They say things like, you're not asking too much when it comes to the right person, right? So you need to speak kind of like that. Like you're experiencing somebody telling you that you want too much because you've chosen the wrong person, not because you actually, as a person, want too much, right? So that helps you to tackle the same thing in different ways. Your problem is your choices. You don't know how to pick the right one, right? And I know that you're tired, you're frustrated, you just because most of those pain points are related to feelings, right? But when you come back around and you say, this is what it looks like when you actually pick incorrectly, that gives a whole new understanding. This is why you feel misunderstood. This is why you don't feel connected. This is why it feels like nothing you do is good enough. This is why it feels like nothing they do is good enough. You've chosen, but all of this goes together with you choosing the wrong person. So the problem, you're choosing the wrong person. The feelings and the pain points, you're frustrated, what I'm saying? You're impatient, all of these things. It's pain points are usually feelings and emotions, right? And then you come back around and say you're experiencing these things because of the problem.
Yeah.
Shay, what are your 3 questions again? I don't remember.
The problem, the pain points, the experience.
Oh, yeah. So it's what the problem is, what the pain points, emotions, and feelings around it are, and what are the things that they are going through? How does it look like in their life? How does it show up because they have the problem? Those were the 3 things. All right. Did you have anything else you wanted to add, Trey?
Yeah, and then what I also want to use all of what we talked about and just kind of combine them all. I need to do a little bit of all of it. In order to incorporate all of it, I need to be able to have the community invite members in order to build in order to build the group. I need to do that and have more live demonstrations and case studies instead of me just adding memes and suggestions and doing my little trainings, and offering like actual like little workshops or whatever. Be a guest on podcasts to get the word out, more visibility, and then do press releases.
Yeah.
So,
and I think it was Shawana that told you or somebody about have an opportunity for people to ask you a question, right? That Ask to Ray could be very big. You can even do where people can sign up for a segment where they can ask you live and then you answer them live, right?
Yeah, that's what I was live
demonstrations.
So, yeah. Yep.
Most definitely.
And because you know what, Shay, I'm sorry, can I say something?
Yes,
and because of how Teray is and loves to interact with people, her having them and doing something similar to even what you're doing right here, it'll bring out even more of her genius, more of her coaching, having those people right there, even versus them sending in a DM question, having that interaction and that vibration with that energy from the other person. Teray, you'll be off the chain.
Yeah, I thought about that. It's funny you mentioned that, Shawana. Thank you for that. But I've thought about this kind of situation in my group. I just need to build my group in order to do that. I'd like to build my group. And the way that I have a handful of ladies that interact on a daily basis. There's only like maybe 5 or 6 of them. But as I grow the group, I can build this kind of situation. But yeah, that's the plan. And then we talk through some things. I have some really smart ladies, and they know that they're picking the wrong guy, but they don't know that it's their fault.
Yeah.
They don't know.
So that's why I was telling you, like, it's a difference between the problem, what they're feeling because of the problem and how it shows up in their life and what they keep reoccurringly in a situation because of the same problem. But it's a way to tackle it in those different ways. So yeah, love it. Love it. All right. Well, anybody have any questions around visibility and marketing? Tomorrow we move on to strengthening your sales process is what we're going to talk about tomorrow. Because all of this is about you struggling with your offer and what you need to do with that same offer rather than switching out, trying to go to something totally different. So does anybody have any questions about optimizing the offer from yesterday or visibility in marketing today? Dr. LaFera.
So, Shay, do you have any suggestions for me about, I guess, getting visibility for the offer, other than what the stuff that I mentioned?
So you can start with what we kind of talked about today. Have you done any of those things for your new offer?
I haven't done the press release, but I have started doing podcasts and like getting people to ask me for podcasts. And I started at the TSP conference, and like, so I have in the conference before that I went to.
Yes. So as a doctor, a medical doctor with an MD, triple board certified, you could do a lot of contributing writing. Like nobody would question your expertise because the credentials are on your sleeve. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So contributing writing would be great. Even if you, found somebody with a great distribution and had a monthly article, a monthly, something going on with them. So yeah, do that. Do some of your press releases where they're more PSA focused, and then you bring them back around to you. So yeah, with your credibility, you can get into some of this stuff quicker than we can as just entrepreneurs.
Okay. So basically just pitching them, and basically, according to like maybe what you see they're doing, but like what you see that they could be doing, and you can offer the expertise and offer articles on this stuff.
So whereas some of us who don't have the academia behind us, right? We might have experience and all this kind of stuff, but it's not always recognized by top tier media. You can skip straight to top tier media based on your credentials. So you could be over there pitching Tamron Hall, whereas I have to go up through some other stuff before Tamron Hall might consider me. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So yeah, you need to be doing stuff like that. What did you want to add, Teray?
I just wanted to ask a couple questions, Dr. LaFera. So whenever you went to the TSP conference, what were your goals?
to be visible, and also to do research, because I have a couple of different people that are attracted to me, like main people. People with autoimmune diseases is one, and I tried to fight that for the longest. But the other is people over 40 who are experiencing like perimenopause, who weren't
people
really
are women.
told. Yeah, women. It couldn't be men, but so women. And so like when I get up, I talk about how I heal my chronic illnesses, and I even sometimes mention my age, so that they'll see like, oh, this woman says she's like 46, and so like I get like a line of people with either one of those issues, and lately it's been with the mostly with the over 40, the perimenopause. But I did have like a consistent stream of people with different autoimmune diseases, like this time at the TSP conference. So so I know what they want from me, like coming from a live event and not just having to wait to get like a social media comment.
So I have a suggestion for you. So instead of going to a conference like TSP, not like TSP, whenever you go to TSP conferences, I would suggest for you to make a list of things, goals like this. Instead of just targeting women who have autoimmune diseases, I want you to research the mastermind list and the TSP businesses and decide what people you have to, people, not women, but people, businesses you have to connect with. Like Jeff, he has his CMOS business. You want to connect with Jeff because of his audience. You want to connect with his audience to see what his CMOS, see who his audience is and what his CMOS does. Because if you can connect with him and his CMOS business has benefits that would help your community, you want to connect with him. So you're not looking for women with, you know what I'm saying? You want to connect with the business owners who have an audience that would help your community. Also, you want to do something like what Melody does. Melody will show up to TSP and then reach out to all the beauty entrepreneurs and say, hey, we're all having
the meetup.
Right. You know how Melody does. And so she'll just be like, hey, we're all having lunch over here on this day at this time. We want to see you. You want to do something like that. You want to maximize. Listen, you want to maximize. And then you want to say, hey, everybody, I'm having, we're meeting in the lobby on this day. At this time, I want to see you there. And let's all, have a brainstorm from last night's session about such and such. And you want to invite specific people. Kim and Tim did that one morning random, and there were like 10 of us that showed up with muffins. And it's real impromptu. I want you to have a plan written out whenever you show up to TSP. Shay had a plan. She didn't even go to TSP. And she had a plan, and she had people at TSP interacting on her page, sending her stuff. And she was in Mexico, and she still had a plan and had them interacting with her.
Yeah, I'll do that. That's next steps for me, because this one I was kind of testing.
And that's less about visibility and more about collaboration. We're talking about that Thursday. And as y'all know, we've done 2 different weeks on networking where we talked about that extensively. So go to part 4 of the blog, and it's connected to the networking article I did about how I made $10,000+ the last time I was at TSP. So so that's less about visibility, more about collaboration. But thank you for that, Teray. That was awesome. And we'll tap back into that on Thursday. But tomorrow we're going to talk about strengthening sales processes. All right, y'all. That's it.
Thank y'all.
It's a good week. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. All right. The studio is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a great day.